Guys, Armageddon is scheduled to be released on November 5th. So, can you guys tell me a bit about the songwriting and the production behind this particular album?
First of all, a correction. The record has been.
Yeah, he already said that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fuck that.
Yeah, but Armageddon, we really the songs are mostly written, the riffs and stuff are mostly written by Dennis and Lasse, and but compared to something like Engulfed, we actually wrote all the songs and practiced them before we went to the studio. With
Yeah,
Engulfed,
there was a lot more like preparation going into this album. Like the last album at the BU, I actually learned the songs the evening before we had to record the drums for it. So, like compared to last time, I think we came into the whole process a lot more prepared. We had a lot more of a clear vision of what we wanted to do with the album, and all in all, we also worked together on the album a lot more. Whereas in the past, Dennis had historically been like the main driving force of the band, which he still to an extent is, of course. But I think we are more involved in every aspect, all of us now.
I would also definitely point out that we recorded the album Armageddon that you hear is it's the second time we recorded. The first time we recorded up at a body from ours, from a Vomit Angel, from a Glamsbjerg. But we decided to scrap that recording and do it over up at the Island Studios. So that definitely helped us.
Yeah, also like
cut through with the songs.
Studio.
Yeah, in a professional studio this time.
yeah, the first recording was not good. It was kind of dire.
Definitely going up to Marco at that island helped the record shape into what it is now.
Yeah, 100%.
I guess
really nice working with Marco.
Yeah, from a songwriting perspective, that's different. That's different. This album from Engulfed is definitely there's a more focus on the black metal aspect in the songs this time around.
Yeah.
Where the first album is definitely incantation worship at its purest. Like, let's say a band like
Also,
mostly, or Father of the Fold.
Spectral voice and stuff like that.
Yeah, we kind of found more our sound in this.
Yeah.
And definitely the music was written definitely tied up to the lyrics.
Yeah, like in the past, we wrote songs where we maybe had a bunch of riffs, we had a text, and then we bundled it together. But like this time around, we had the lyrics first, and then we started focusing on what riffs would actually help to give the certain feeling we wanted to be associated with each part of the song.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And so, like you said, like you have found the sound of your guide, what you need to do in the future. So is this something you're gonna stick to it, or there'll be more changes in the future?
We definitely
there will be more.
Yeah, we're actually looking to expand upon those ideas and bring more into it. Like maybe it's a bit of a spoiler, but also looking into sort of dissonant chords and stuff a lot more for the next. Also experimenting with stuff like using the whammy bar for actual riffs to change the tuning during the riff and stuff like that. So
I think
we're looking to expand upon.
Yeah, we kind of our philosophy is that we don't want to create the same record twice. We already got one Armageddon now. Why should we repeat it? So I think we look at it as we have certain elements, of course, is the band with how we sound, but we can always elaborate on those ideas. What's the change? Maybe fast tempos, and also it's very combined with the concept. Armageddon is an ritualistic kind of album, where maybe the next one, not gonna spoil anything, nothing in the works right now, but if it's more evil and more satanic, the music will change opposed to that. I think that's
It'll definitely be more chaotic
Yeah.
without spoiling too much.
So
I can't follow the riffs they're writing.
oh fuck.
bless you. So can you guys tell me how Tardus Mortem actually started, and can you tell me a bit about the band?
Well, the
That's all
first
you,
part of the
Dennis.
question is probably more for Dennis, since he was the founding member, and we joined around the time of the second demo, actually.
Yeah, I started the band with a guy called Christian, not Christian first now, was a drummer, and we did one demo. And I joined another band called Tardus Mortem. Check them out, by the way, great band. But I left that band because I wanted to actually play more brutal music, in a sense, more inspired by what the Copenhagen bands are doing right now. So we definitely transitioned towards more old school and more evil death metal, dark death metal, and that's where the guys joined the band. But the band was created so to be, I just want to play death metal.
I also think the part about Killtown is also one of the very important events, basically, for the bands, was discovering that scene, which pretty much motivated us to try and maybe make our sound a lot more dark, because it really opened our perspective that these bands were taking the old school style of death metal, but instead of maybe just playing it as was, they took it and then tried to expand upon it. And I think that idea really resonated with us as a band.
Definitely.
Sounds good. And listening to Armageddon, lately, not many bands do a long song, goes more than 20 minutes, 10 minutes kind of stuff. So why did you guys want to do something like that, and what was the idea behind that?
Well, I think the songs kind of took their own forms. Let's take a track like Ghost of Armageddon. We started to listen to a lot of Australian bands, Impetuous, Ritual, Grave of Evil, Portal, and Grave of Impetuous on their Green album, the Remember the Title, has a song around 15 minutes, and I thought nobody gives a shit about us in Denmark and rest of the world, so let's just create a fucking long song because we like those. Then we tried to rehearse it when all the riffs was in order and the structure, and we thought maybe it'd be like 15 minutes. Well, it was 23 minutes, and I guess we kind of said, fuck it, let's just keep it at that.
It works really well live. Ghost of Armageddon is probably the song that people react best to in a live setting.
And I also think for a more conceptual point of view upon it is that you can tell a longer story in a long song than you can with, let's say, a short song, like around 5 minutes. You can tell a certain amount of story in that sense, but in a 23-minute song, you kind of can create a whole journey musically and lyrically that I definitely resonated towards.
Yeah,
it's also why
that aspect of the songwriting is something we're looking to expand upon, definitely. Maybe not with like a lot of 20-minute long songs, but definitely trying to tell a story more than trying to play a song, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. And talking about the songwriting, so you guys gonna be sticking towards the darker side, or that gonna be changes in the future?
We're definitely gonna expand upon it, I think, actually.
There's
try to take all the darker aspects of Armageddon, and we're gonna try to see if we can actually do it better.
Yeah, and I think there's only a certain path. I heard a really good quote from Alex Webster back in around the Tomb of the Mutilated days, where he said that death metal bands always supposed to try to create more evil and more heavier and brutal form of death metal. I think that's a really good guideline for us. There's no reason to make a, let's say, not weaker, but more commercially appealing album. We have no such interest in that. Our mission is always to disturb and to somewhat annoy and
maybe even frighten the listener.
frighten the listener. That was the word.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And
That's definitely our perspective.
and you guys are from a pretty small town in Denmark. And how has the reception been for you in Denmark, and how the fans are reacting to the music so far?
In our own, area in the scene in Odense, we're not that well, welcome, because
Actually,
the kind of death metal they play there is not the same that we do. Ours is a lot more like Copenhagen, but we've started, to crack into the Copenhagen scene, and we're being welcomed there.
I actually
So
think
they like it.
historically we've had a lot of trouble actually getting some live setups that's actually worked for us, especially because a lot of the audience in Denmark is more into maybe like the old school melodic death metal, where we like the old school death metal in the vein of incantation and stuff like that. So there's sort of already a clash there where we've actually had more success internationally almost, I think, than locally.
True. Definitely, we're definitely not part of. We tried to break into, but they're
I think
definitely more in the veins of Copenhagen and that kind of death metal. But
definitely Copenhagen is the place for us.
Yeah, but overall in Denmark right now, I think the tides are turning somewhat because more and more bands are getting from Copenhagen are getting out to the rest of the country, and we are kind of, in a way, riding that wave somewhat. Where we maybe hope to expand. I don't know. Kind of just take it as it comes.
We're just playing death metal because we love it, not really because we wanted to be famous or anything. You wouldn't play death metal if you wanted to be famous.
Actually, it's actually mostly because of our label and the amazing help we've had from Mikael from Emancipation that we're even like in the talks for playing a lot of stuff and getting the album out there, because before all that, like the extent of our releases was like the debut had, I believe, 100 tape copies pressed, and that was also like the plan we had for Armageddon originally, because we haven't historically had any audience whatsoever really. So it was actually just an album planned for us once more, and it turned out to be something more now.
Definitely Mikael and Fernando and all the guys at Emancipation Productions.
Yeah, it's a lot of thanks to them.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Awesome guys.
Absolutely agree to that. And I had the opportunity to listen to Armageddon on the full album. Like it has the rawness of death metal to it, and it is beautifully done with bit of progressiveness in death metal. And I believe this album is absolutely amazing. And I believe this will take you guys to the next level. And I think you guys has already done what you have to do. So I think you've done the great job in this album. And what are the next plans for you guys to reach out on a global scene?
Well, right now we only have some festivals appearances booked, live setting, Kilton Death Fest next week, and Emancipation's festival in October. But
it's also just called Emancipation Death Fest.
Oh, it is okay. But we hope nothing in the plans that we can come on some tours in the start of next year when the COVID restrictions are.
Yeah, there's also a lot of uncertainty due to, like, even if we maybe had some plans for a tour and we had the expenses covered, you couldn't really book it for sure, because you don't know if maybe tomorrow one of the countries you plan to go to, they just decide to shut down and stuff like that. And for us, we are like a band that's actually completely new to even getting booked to bigger events and stuff like that. So we have like a lot of things where we're thinking about just playing to the opportunities we're getting at the moment, and then hoping in the future when things are more certain that we can get some actual plans going.
Yeah, definitely. And then we are we're in the early process of writing new material.
Yeah.
Just me and Lasse collecting riffs and collecting ideas for the next record when that's gonna be. But we figured it's good to be out early with material, then maybe we have to, let's say, hurry when to complete a new album. Because we have some plan in the works that we are quite excited about.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And would you like to share some of the great times you guys had since the start of the band?
Oh, that's actually an aspect we are doing quite well in, because the three of us are really good friends. So I almost say every rehearsal is just more like meeting up with some of the best friends you have and just having an all-around good time. So it's almost hard not to find a good moment. Like,
well, I do have one certain occurrences that is from the early days, our first shows. We're from Denmark. We like to drink beer. So when you heard the album, you know, we covered Into the Grave.
Yeah.
Grave, great number. When we started to rehearse it, Lasse was quite a weak drinker at that time, so we poured beer and we rehearsed at my parents' place.
I don't know if you could call me a weak drinker, considering I drank like twice as much as you at least.
True. Sorry, not a weak drinker, but my dad kind of had an open supply of alcohol. So we started to rehearse Into the Grave, and we all got pretty hammered, but Lasse got so hammered that he couldn't play it. But after that, we rehearsed and we did 2 shows, one in Roskilde and one in Fredericia. There was 3 cases of beer and 1 bottle of booze per band. We proceeded to drink like 2 of the cases and steal all of the booze before we took home with both of the places. That was pretty fucked up.
That pretty much describes the early days of Tardus Mortem.
I would like to talk about the gig in Fredericia, actually, because we played and it went fine. We had only been together for like a month, so considering that, it went pretty well. And then after the concert, we were given a bottle of vodka and a lot of Coke to blend the shit. And Les, he went home early with his family, so it was Dennis and I, and we were just drinking, having fun, blah blah, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, I like, I haven't seen Dennis for like 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh,
and then he calls me from the toilet. He's like, oh. He's just been throwing up for like an hour. And he had to get picked up by his dad. And then I sat there with a bottle of vodka, and I was like, I guess I'll drink it. So I just drank the bottle, and I got so smashed that when my dad came to pick me up in the night, when I thought I was asleep, I had went up into the kitchen and I'd just been eating Nutella out of the jar with a spoon. So half the jar of Nutella was gone. I had just without even knowing.
About the bathroom experience, though, the worst thing was I puked all over myself and had to sit through the car ride home with my dad. And my dad was laughing manically at me the whole way home. Fun experiences.
Yeah, every single time we rehearse, it's just we're just having fun. We usually did it like we meet over the weekend on a Friday, and then we practice during the day, and then we just have fun in the evenings.
Yeah. I'd like to mention that we, even though we have like this loose and fun relationship in the band, I think it actually still works together to make our productivity greater, because we don't actually get stressed out when we rehearse. So sometimes when we have a weekend, we can, at least before Corona, we could have like maybe one day where we just rehearse for 14 hours straight and stuff like that, because it just never stopped being fun for us.
Indeed. Also, we have other occurrences where we would just take a Sunday before we went home, one evening, just having fun and shooting guns, stuff like that. Just casually fun.
That's interesting. Really nice to hear that. That's awesome. It's awesome. And can you guys tell me what would be the dream for you guys?
The dream?
Yeah.
I think me and Dennis would definitely like to make this maybe a world touring band, if that's would be the possibility. Like that's our dream at least.
And just be able to release records, tour, and still have a functioning life like most, let's say, underground musicians have. You know, you have your band goals as a band, but definitely continue playing with these guys. I couldn't really see myself playing with any other at this point.
I agree.
But on the side, you know, just make this profitable, not enough that you can keep doing it for year after year, but still not ruin yourself financially.
Yeah,
that would definitely be my top goal. Not live off it, of course, of anything like that, because then I should play something else than fucking death metal, especially underground death metal. But enough that we can keep doing this in the future and continue to expand on what we're already doing musically.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And what would be the craziest things you guys think to do, if it comes to your mind?
Musically, or maybe like in a live setting or stuff like that.
Anything.
That's a great question, because we have some really weird ideas once in a while.
Dennis, back in the day, he wanted to. He said that he wanted every concert to feel like a satanic ritual. So who knows if we'll bring that back, right, Dennis?
Yeah. Then I should probably start hitting that acid.
But yeah, musically, we are definitely doing some of the craziest stuff. At least I've heard. But I'm pretty casual. And then the live setting, or just with the band in general, I don't really know. Like we talk about doing things and then we don't do them, but sometimes we do them anyway. So I actually don't really know. That's a good question.
I think like all three of us have like these really out there ideas that it's actually kind of hard to like talk about the most crazy idea a lot of the times, but maybe stuff like Bayer was describing about Dennis, like a lot of ideas for how to improve the live show and make it a more like full experience instead of just these guys standing there and playing.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do more with it to boost the ambience of the music.
Definitely, but not I guess the craziest idea. I don't know, man. I'm just a drummer. I just sit back there and chill. Try not to think, try not to die.
Interesting.
But I guess the craziest thing would actually be me getting through a live set without feeling like I'm dying. That would be nice.
The craziest thing would be Dennis actually keeping tempo in a live setting.
True. The original tempo.
He always speeds up the song live.
That's true.
I can't follow.
Yeah, there was like one time where we played a song, like, and I just remember I got so mad because I think the BPM like was risen by like 30 BPM or something like that, and we're already playing like 220 BPM, and all of a sudden it's maybe like close to 250. So it gets crazy sometimes like that also.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at tremoloing, so I can't.
Yeah, man, I guess that's what we call it, run as high.
Interesting, guys. And guys, finally, what would be the message for the new people who are going to listen to the music and for your already existing fans?
Don't listen to the music.
Well,
yeah,
like in serious terms, I think like we'd just like to say thank you very much, like for having an interest in the band, whether they're going to like it or not. It's just amazing for us that the people are actually like caring about what we do as a band, because like for us it's always just been like our group doing like our own kind of stuff, so we're just like very happy and just want to say thank you to everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And the same thing as that he said, really thanks for checking us out, thanks for following us, thanks for buying our merch, and hope they get to see us on the festivals we're playing, or when we get, for hopefully some days, to their country to play. And support definitely all the Copenhagen death metal bands, definitely.
Yeah.
And support ERP. General, support death metal. You know, the usual shit you always end an interview with. I guess that would be it.
It's a kind of vanilla answer, but we don't really have anything better.
No, we got a basic.
I think it's just generally how we feel about the situation, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That would be
we're just very happy that we're having these amazing opportunities to have people ask about the album, wanting to listen to it and stuff like that. That's like the most amazing thing we feel that could happen. So we're just super happy.
Definitely.
Awesome. And guys, thank you so much for the time you have given me for this interview today. And it's a pleasure talking to you guys, and you guys have a great day ahead.
Oh, the pleasure is
You
all
too, man.
ours.
Thanks.
Thanks for the interview, and thanks for the nice
yeah.
conversation.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.